Sean McCracken, news editor here at Hotel News Now, recapping the first day of the Hotel Data Conference here with H&N's own Trevor Simpson and STR's Kelsey Fenerty. Kelsey, what was your big takeaway from today's event?
Oh gosh, there's been so much happening, and I don't want to say the whole buzzword, so I'm going to go with experience. That's come up in so many of the data sessions, and they talked quite a lot about it in the Tell Me More podcast just now.
So our podcast is scooping their podcast because we're going to publish first.
Oh,
but
I'll keep that to myself then.
No, that's fine. It is an interesting topic, and I've heard of a lot of people bring it up too, that experience is vital, and you need to find ways to monetize experience, but it's kind of table stakes now that's how you win demand, is having superior experience.
I think that's definitely the case, and not really just demand, because I know we've talked about how demand has slowed, and it has, but there's still a really good volume of travelers out there. I think experience relates a lot more, not just to getting the demand, but more so on what kind of pricing power you have, because that's really the important piece. Can you continue to drive your rate and get travelers in the door? And I think experience is the key to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Trevor, what have you been hearing today?
Well, I kind of just got scooped because experience was the thing I was going to talk about.
Well, you can underline it.
Okay, I'll underline it a little bit. Heard a lot about concerts, obviously Taylor Swift, Ed Sheeran, Beyonce, driving performance around the globe now. But also just on property as well, not just like planning for events, but having different experiences on property. I feel like that's been more of a focus that you said on the live Tell Me More, that's going to be something to monitor moving forward. But to bring something new to the table, if I had to pick one broad takeaway, it seems like trying out new things incrementally, whether that's with tech. Obviously AI is a thing that's talked about a lot, but just trying new things out and seeing what sticks.
Yeah, there needs to be more risk-taking in the space.
Yes.
And I know a lot of people talked about that in recent years, but, demand growth, pricing power were so strong on their own that you kind of really didn't need to. It was a kind of rising tides lifts all boats situation, and the tide was rising crazy fast.
Yeah.
So, now is a time that maybe you need to be more willing to take those risks.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I feel like I've heard a lot of the same stuff. There was a breakout panel today about the new experienced traveler, and the president and CEO of KOA was talking during that. And she brought up some really interesting, experience type stuff that I had never thought about. They sometimes see big demand drivers from, obviously they saw a lot of business from the eclipse, right, but they also see a lot of other stellar activity stuff. When you're way out there and you can actually see the sky, they see a lot of demand from butterfly migrations. It is experience. You got to think of experience in a lot of different ways, and people want these really unique, once-in-a-lifetime experiences more and more.
Yeah.
Other interesting takeaway I had from today, I will selfishly plug my own panel because I moderated the extended stay panel, and I feel like that segment has kind of taken it on the chin a little bit this year, just because it was so strong for the years prior to that, and people are kind of bummed out that it's come back to, I don't want to say reality, because the growth before was reality too, but it's closer to normal hotel industry growth this year than it had been. But there's still a lot of hope in that space. There's still a lot of belief that demand growth will exceed supply growth. And the thing that I think not enough people are talking about in that segment in particular is we haven't really even seen the effects of the infrastructure bill that was passed a couple of years ago now, so people forget about it.
Right.
But there's going to be wide-scale construction across this country for a number of years, and extended stay hotels that's the segment that's going to be poised to benefit from that. So just something to think about. Kelsey, any final points you want to put on today's podcast?
Final points. I think more than ever this year, the other thing, and I might just be biased because I'm so close to it, but we've heard so much this year talk about looking forward. We know what's happening today, and we know that's really important. but almost every single session I've sat in on and all the main stage today continued to think very heavily about the future and what's next and what can we say today, not just predictions, but how can we forecast and what do we think is going to happen and how can we take that today and put it into our budgets tomorrow. And I think I've seen that more this year than I have any other year at the Hotel Data Conference, and I've been to several of these now.
Yeah. So more crystal ball watching then?
Yes.
So what's your prediction for 2025, Kelsey?
Ooh, I think you'll have to show up tomorrow and listen to the closing session to hear my prediction for 2025.
All right, that's as good of a plug as any. Thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate the time.
Yeah, thank you.
Come back tomorrow for our second day recap, so you can hear about all of HDC.
Hi, I'm Isaac Colazo, Vice President of Analytics at STR.
Hi, and I'm Jan Freitag, National Director for Hospitality Analytics for the CoStar Group. Tune in to our new show, Tell Me More, a Hospitality Data Podcast.
It's a podcast on the global hotel industry, its current trends, what we're thinking about, and where the industry's going.
And we like to have fun with the data too. Find us on hotelnewsnow.com or wherever you listen to podcasts. Subscribe today.
Thanks for listening. This podcast was recorded on August 8th, 2024, and edited by Trevor Simpson. Go to hotelnewsnow.com every day for the latest hotel industry news.